What's up, guys? So here at the Seattle-Tacoma airport, Sea-Tac. Today's flight is going to be on board Alaska, going all the way to Kona in Hawaii. Just entered the airport here. There are self-check-in kiosks, but they're all kind of packed. So I just did the check-in online. Simpler.
Literally moments after this, I found a few open check-in kiosks, but having done the check-in online, I didn't have to use them. So instead, I made my way towards the security check.
Alright, so still got a couple of hours before the flight even starts boarding. It's 9 a.m. right now, and flight starts boarding at 11:45. Just walking around looking for a restroom right now, which seems to be harder to find than I anticipated. It's not marked. It's not marked anywhere. Oh, it's not marked anywhere on the signs. So seems like it's harder to find. But let's just walk around. That's already a +1 for Scareport, by the way. Things that aren't marked as clearly, making it easy to find your way around the terminal. But let's walk around. Oh, I see one right there. So let's go there and then continue our journey and check out more of the airport.
After finally having found a restroom and relieved myself, our journey continued as I made my way towards the security check. On the way, I noticed a few cafes and shops located centrally in the hallway before the security checks. There was also a Starbucks. I then made my way into this very long line that would lead us to the security checkpoint. One thing that I did like was that there were screens indicating the wait times at the various checkpoints. As you can see, this one would take us about 29 minutes, not too different than some of the other lines.
Alright, that took quite some time, but made it past the security checks as well. It was a pretty long line, as you probably saw. Anyways, let's start our favorite game. Airport or Scareport.
So after clearing security, you'll find yourself in the central concourse of the Sea-Tac airport. Here, you'll find a variety of different restaurants and shops.
+1 airport.
There's not just one, but multiple bars and coffee shops at this airport.
+1 Scareport.
Seating is available by the gates, but it did get very packed, making it very hard to find seating close to boarding time. Places to charge your electronic devices are available by most seating areas.
+1 airport.
Although not marked very clearly, there are hydration stations and restrooms at the airport.
+1 airport.
Being a city with a rich history in music, there were a few music stores at the airport. This one in particular caught my attention. Sub Pop Records was, and currently still is, an influential record label, which was known in the 90s to have signed bands such as Nirvana, Soundgarden, and Alice in Chains before they were popular. There were also performers playing live music in the concourse. Handful of sculptures were also on display at various parts of the terminal.
Let the good times roll.
I didn't necessarily want to film the person playing or the people dancing, but there are people playing live music and people dancing at this airport. +1 airport.
There were some decent views to the flights outside from the concourse area, but the views outside by the gate areas were not amazing.
+1 airport.
Public Wi-Fi was available at the airport, and the download and upload speeds were pretty decent.
+1 airport.
Alright, so our total tally comes out to 6 for airport and 1 for Scareport, making the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport officially an airport.
Alright, so the SeaTac airport. From the outside, before the security gates, it looked not too promising. It was very dull, lifeless. It was hard to find a restroom. But after security, that all changed. Cool layout, looks open. The complete opposite of what it was before. Also, super cool that there was live music at not just one, but 2 places. What I did like were the couple of stores that had stuff which was made in Seattle, which was pretty nice. And yeah, outside of that, pretty standard and normal airport. Nothing that attracts me to it overall, but nothing bad about it either. Anyways, the flight has been delayed just by a bit, but it's almost boarding time. So let's go grab a seat and wait for boarding.
Eventually, it was boarding time. Boarding was fairly organized, straightforward, and done in zones. After a quick boarding pass scan, we made our way to the 737 MAX 9 that would take us to Kona. The seat on board this Alaska 737 featured a decent amount of padding, and the knee space was pretty generous. I think the only carrier to feature better knee room and leg space in the US is Southwest Airlines. The seat back tray was standard and could be pulled closer if necessary. The seat back pocket above the tray contained a flyer for the Alaska Airlines credit card, a safety information card, and a barf bag. Above the seatback tray was also a holder for electronic devices if you wanted to use your own mobile device to access the entertainment portal. There was a USB charging port and a universal power outlet at every seat. Also, what I liked was there was an additional seatback pocket which could be used to store any personal items. The overhead panels consisted of individual AC vents, individual reading lights, and the call for attendant buttons. Also, interestingly enough, the life vests were also stored in the overhead panels. I did like this as it freed up more space under the seat to stretch your legs and or store your bags. There was a seat recline feature, and the seats also featured an adjustable headrest as well. Overall, the cabin was fairly basic, but also had a slight sprinkle of modern fittings like the mood lighting that kept it from looking like a super basic low-cost carrier cabin. We then made our way out from Seattle towards Kona. Shortly after takeoff, the snack service commenced. There was a buy-on-board menu that featured various snacks and alcoholic beverages available for purchase on board. Food options mostly consisted of snack packs. It would have been nice to have an option to purchase sandwiches or instant meals on board the 6-hour flight. We were handed out complimentary snacks and drinks on board. I went for this pretzel-style snack with a Sprite for drink. The lavatory on board this 737 MAX 9 was on the smaller side. It did, however, seem like it could use a bit of tidying up. The sink, in classic 737 fashion, was more for show than of any utility. It was tiny and practically impossible to wash your hands in without spilling water everywhere. A Amenities included soap, sanitary napkins, air sickness bags, and tissues. Fixtures included a baby changing station, coat hook, and an ashtray. Overall, the lavatory was fairly tight and basic in classic 737 style. The entertainment portal could be accessed by connecting to the onboard Wi-Fi. There was a decent variety of movies, TV shows, and audio content that could be accessed on the entertainment portal. There was a free messaging pass that would allow you to stay connected via various messaging services. Internet could also be accessed for the whole flight for $8. If you're a frequent flyer of Alaska Airlines, you could opt for a $50 monthly pass for internet access on any domestic Alaska Airlines flight, and there was also a 2-device pass for $75. A free Wi-Fi pass was available for eligible T-Mobile users. As a T-Mobile prepaid customer, I did try this out, but it seemed that my plan was not eligible for the free Wi-Fi pass on board, unfortunately. The entertainment portal also featured a flight tracker, which, to be honest, was pretty basic, but it was still nice to have the option available on board. There was a second snack service on board this 6-hour flight. We were handed out Biscoff biscuits and a drink. This time around, I went for a Coke. Eventually, the island of Kona made its way underneath us, and it was time for landing. Alright guys, so Alaska Airlines. The hard product. The seats were fairly comfortable and the legroom was pretty good, especially when compared to other airlines in the region. Also, there were power outlets on every seat, which is a big plus. As for the soft product, the cabin crew was pretty friendly, and although there were no meals, there were 2 snack services on board the 6-hour flight, which was pretty nice. Overall, I would say it was a pretty positive experience on board. As for cost, Alaska usually comes in somewhere around the same range as Delta, American, JetBlue, and other airlines in this region. At a similar price range, I would most likely recommend Alaska over the competitors, seeing that they offer a much better hard product and a slightly better soft product than most of the competitors in this region. It would definitely have been a nice addition to be able to purchase more than just snacks on board the 6-hour flights, maybe quick bites such as sandwiches or bagels, if not full meals. Alternatively, the option to grab more snacks from the galley, such as on JetBlue, would have also been nice. If either of these become an option on board, then Alaska would definitely stand leagues above the other competitors in the United States. But even with the current state of affairs, it is certainly not a bad product. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys now. What have your experiences on board Alaska been like? Have they been similar to mine? Would you recommend them to someone? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like content like this, then consider subscribing, as I'll be releasing weekly videos of airlines from around the world. Anyways guys, as always, I hope you found this video either helpful or entertaining. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.